So there we go. So we've got that. So now I think before I do anything else, I'm going to put the materials on it so it actually feels like it's becoming something. So I'm just going to go Alt W here so that I can go a little bit bigger. And I'm going to bring up my material editor and give it just a standard material. And we're going to call this one background. And you know, as long as we're here, we might as well make another one. We'll call this one water. And just like before, I'm going to make it so that I can see it. And yet another one that I'm going to call sand. So once again, you're going to do your own thing. Whatever it is that you do, that is fine. I'm just running you through my version of it, sort of to show you my way of thinking about it, show you a couple of tricks, a few new things that I would like you to do on it, and how to work efficiently. Okay, so I've got all my materials made for my background already. There are 3 separate ones since they are 3 separate things. Okay, so my background, I'm just going to go ahead and bring it on over to the background. And then I'm going to, here is the sand. So I'll go ahead and bring that over to the sand. Okay, and finally here is water. And I'm going to bring that over here to the water. Now notice that I took a moment to select my different ones, because that way it would, even though these are basically filling the exact same space, when I dragged it over, it would know where to go. Okay, so I got that. Let's work on our background first. So I'm going to go into our T drive and into Art, and here we go, into Images, and into my backgrounds. And I've got a bunch of new panoramic backgrounds in there. I had one in mind that I thought was pretty cool. I'm going to bring this one on in right there. And it's okay, but I think we can do better. So let's take a quick picture of this. Confirm, oh right, yes, sure. I think I had an older version saved and that's why I did that. And okay, I can see there's some problems with that. Of course, I knew there would be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my UVW map and put it on there, and a cylinder would seem like the obvious choice for this. Make sure it fits. Okay. And it still looks pretty much the same, right? Because Max had known to do that. Okay, I must have something on. Let me look in here. So if I go here, and I know what's going on. It says that I've already saved a file because I am going to export this later as a video, and so that's why that file was there. So I just unclicked where it said Save File. I just unclicked that, and that way I'll be able to make render after render as I test this. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's make it a little bit better. So first off, I want this thing here to come together, and so I'm going to, let's say, do this. Okay. So I want it to mirror that. I think that's pretty cool. But I want it to mirror it, but I don't want it to have that dark spot in the middle. I want to have the light in the middle. So I think if I go to this V, no, not the V, the U? Oh yeah. The U is going to work. And so what I'm going to do is I'll offset that by 0.5. That should bring it exactly in half. And so now, yeah, I think that's about how I want it to go. And I might actually end up bringing that up taller. And so here, since everything looks like it's pretty much how I want it to be, I'm going to go ahead and collapse the stack, collapse all, and go back to my vertices. Make sure this one's selected. And I'm going to just select these vertices up top. And since I selected all those vertices, you'll see that when I move them up, it's going to stretch this picture out a little bit. Okay, that might look better. And that way, it'll be better anyways, because more of the scene will be in my camera. It will be easier to keep my scene in my camera. This I can move back and forth as I need to. So all good. Now, the next thing we're going to work on is the water. And so I think for the water, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and I'm just going to copy this right here, because you know how water is oftentimes reflective of the sky. So I'll put that in there. Meanwhile, the sand, I'm going to turn that off so it's invisible, so I'm not even worried about that. And yeah, that's ridiculous, right? It's done it as if it was the top of a cylinder. So here, once again, I'm going to put a UVW map on it. Okay, and so already we can see that's better, but it's still not exactly what I want it to look like. So let's see. So you see how I dragged this down, so all the parameters dragged with it. In other words, this right here. So I'm going to set this back to 0. Oh, okay, look at that. So that's all good. And it is mirrored. So I can keep that because I do want that. I think that looks pretty good. Do you know what I want this to do? I want this to be turned around all the way. So you see this W that rotates it? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rotate that at 0.90. Is that it? No. Just 90. So 90 degrees. Nope, that's not it. 180? 180. That's it. Okay, so 180, that's just turned it all the way around. See, so it will be the exact opposite of what's here. That's what I wanted. Okay, good enough. I think that is just exactly what I want. See, it's getting close. It's almost an exact opposite of that, but we can still do it a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and collapse all right there. I'm going to go to my vertices and I'm going to stretch this out. Because remember how I stretched this out up here? I'm going to stretch this out. So with that, I'm going to go to T for top. And I'm just going to grab this vertice right here. There it is. And I'm going to use soft select. Okay, unfortunately I can kind of see that picture there and see what's going on with it. And I think what I want to do is just bring that up all the way, all the way, all the way. See how that's encompassing most of the item at this point. Pretty much almost all of it. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and just pull it this way. Tilt it just a little bit so I can see. See, I want that dark part here to be gone pretty much. So I'm just going to pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it until I don't see that dark part anymore. There's just a little bit left. I can see it. There it is. So back to my perspective view, I think we'll see that C is gone. And so I'm just reflecting the water right here. Then over here on the sides, I think I want to pull those over a little bit as well. So back to the top view. And I'm going to grab a couple vertices over here. Control, a couple vertices over here. And this time I'm going to use my scale tool and push those a little bit further apart. I think that'll be fine. Let's go back to my perspective view. I think that's going to be okay. So let's just do a quick render. Looks like it pretty much. I wanted to get most of that tree out of the way. Here's what I could do. Select all of this right here. And I'm just going to move it over. Just a hint. Okay. Is that good? I think so. Yeah, I think that's going to work just fine. I'm just looking for color and seeing that that is okay. Good enough, maybe? Sure, why not? Okay, so what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to mess this up a little bit with a noise modifier. So I'm going to turn off my soft select.